Bless, bless, bless. We live. Down to earth.
Yes, this is the Rastafari Samurai, never leaving you dry in your eye. I approve this message nationwide. We are here at the Friday edition of D2E, you know, D2E News Media. We have our next correspondent, you know what I mean, and host, Impenetrable, you know,
Y'all know.
We're gonna get Royals coming in a little later, you know what I mean, and you don't know the number one host is Sean Myrie right there, sir. How you doing, my brother?
All right.
Okay, straight up holla to everybody that's like following me on my Instagram live. Make sure y'all go to the YouTube link, subscribe, follow it, so you can hear from my correspondent Sean Myrie on the other end. But let's get into this then, Sean. Let the people know what we're talking about here today on this Friday.
It's been a while. You know, I'm going to get into this because this is something worldwide people knew about. It's been in Hollywood for a long time. And the government said it was a hoax for so long. But I still don't believe them. Is aliens and this UFO stuff.
The UFO thing.
No, let me get to it now. I was actually one of those kids who was into this UFO, ET, you know, watching the movies, the conspiracy, the crop circles. So they used to say it's a hoax and make fun of people forever. You know what I mean? The whole campaign that there's books of it and people were talking how they're abducted, you know, the works, right? It's funny now that the real government who was calling this a hoax for so long, making fun of people, putting people in mental asylums and stuff like that, now are coming out saying, oh, yes, there's UFOs. Oh, yes, we have some type of bodies, or we, you know, they're trying to say that it exists, right?
Okay, yeah.
So,
I saw that too with like the posts.
And I don't believe this shit. And I don't believe
aliens, this shit. That aliens are now like, they discovered aliens that are like made up of like paper mache and all of this type of shit that I seen.
It's
in those
all
photos.
bullshit.
That's the most biggest bullshit that I've ever seen right now.
But what's the real agenda? If they were saying hoax for so long and had a campaign to make people look crazy, why all of a sudden?
The real agenda is that it's in front of us that we don't see it. That's the thing. They want to make sure that, all right, yeah, you guys are aware of it, but guess what? We're not going to show you the real deal. Okay?
But there's something more to it.
Everything literally in this life is a tokenism on falsehood. So what they're going to be doing is dangling like some falsehood in front of people's faces in regards to thinking that that's some type of truth that's now been discovered. And people are now going to run with it. And the thing about like running with like this friggin' like tokenism that's being dangled in front of them is that distracted people love to distract people.
That's right.
Yes.
So this is why now the whole entire alien stuff is now coming out, because remember, they did the alien stuff back in the day in regards to distracting you from the truth.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff now with like this outer space bullshit, like man been on the moon and all this stuff.
Bullshit.
This is just from my perspective and all that. It's all pure bullshit.
Me too.
So now with all of this alien stuff that's going on now, they now want to like, because now the discovery now about like the man being on the moon and like the earth being flat and all this stuff is now coming out.
It's coming out. So now
something else.
Yes, you're on the same energy vibe like what I've been thinking for a good time. Because the flat earth and things are being discovered and we're like seeing nonsense, like realness from the nonsense, where like it's being exposed. Now they're gonna make a whole campaign how everything what they said was wrong and is now real. It's a big distraction. You have to really look at it. They had a campaign. Anybody who talked about this was like,
look, it's even
crazy.
With like all of like the lockdowns now being gone, because what they realized with everybody now being locked up and then going straight to their phones, going on their social media and all that, they had time now to pay attention to what is going on. Time to not even dig the truth. With now all of the lockdowns being gone, you have so many distractions about their lives. Now they can implement more distractions so that they can now carry out what they want to do. so that you don't even follow what's going on of what they're doing, because you're now distracted with your life. You're now distracted with the alien discoveries that they're now like implementing of an ideology into your head, my brother.
Yes.
And that's
Do
what
you
they're
want
doing.
to? But ain't fooling me because I see through that. Because especially if you were a person who was into this, like their whole genre, if you call it, of this UFO alien stuff, and the movies and all of that stuff, right?
Yep.
And seeing how they were making like real people, like astronauts, saying that like they had the claims that they have seen stuff, but then they say it's a hoax. You get what I mean? There's real people who's in the government, or like just like civilians who claim that they've been abducted, but they said it's a hoax, right? But
It's
now
all, yeah. But go on.
but now they're saying it's like they're actually putting it through government, like the news, for you to
Yeah.
see that it's real important people saying it. So it has to be certified by politicians who's willing to go in public and admit this before those people will be looked on as crazy type of like UFO fanatic. You know what I mean?
Well, all they're doing is giving the UFO fanatics literally now something where they're going to now run around and saying like, oh my God, see, we were saying that this stuff was true. Oh my God, this stuff is now true.
Yeah.
And it's just now an entertainment now for the people that put out that ideology to seeing, all right, how many people can we get on the fish line for hook, line, and sinker? Ah, we got them.
And you know what? I'm gonna twist this. Too bad Royals ain't here.
Yeah.
What I'm like, he might agree to, discovered is these aliens. If there is like these sightings of these crafts, it's the same. It's from Earth. It's from here.
Yeah.
It's not from anywhere else. It's from Earth, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. Why does it have to be from somewhere else? We don't know everywhere on Earth. You haven't
Because
gone
what
every single
the
piece.
smartest individual that started up this whole entire psychologically game that we're now like living through is because honestly, he figured out that a lot of people are easily to be manipulated to being delusional and believing the truth and what they're now presenting to them, even though it's not the truth. And that's being practiced every day in life right now that we live. A lot of
Yeah,
people are now giving you a small tokenism of like something of a truth. And
you're
people
right.
run off with it as if like it's the whole story. And
It's
that's
like
what's
we can,
happening
but
right now with this whole like alien thing being like bullshit discovery. Like if you really look at the pictures, bro, they
yeah,
look
it's
like
I
paper
don't even,
mache.
I just laugh at it. Even the other pictures, what they put out there for years and years, you just really look at it now. As
Yeah.
as as I got older, more mature, you see that a lot of it is foolishness. I have to laugh at it, right?
And I can't take any pictures being real anymore because the way how the filterism and all this fake stuff of like altering pictures is so easily can be done now. You
Yes.
really do now have to look into these pictures that what they're trying to tell you is like authentic, whatever, and then realize as if like, okay, wait, something looks altered here in this picture. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Now
there's
I'm
a
gonna
lot
hit
of
it.
things that they do to try to hide the truth, the actual truth of what's going on.
Okay.
Remember, they were
Okay.
even
I'm not
showing
gonna go.
like people like dying in the mannequins in regards to like the whole COVID thing and all that.
Yeah.
And it was really mannequins in the goddamn hospital beds.
So what I'm gonna flip to now is this. Now, with this UFO business,
Yeah.
we have to believe it's like these aliens, which is really in the biblical text as like foreigners or people from another land. That's what they used to call
Okay.
aliens, right? Or angels. You know, the
Yeah.
whole biblical story of the angels coming down from
Angels
heaven,
and
and
all.
after
Yeah.
sleeping with the human woman, and after then they sinned, and God, they became the half human babies became like like demons, right? So you know that whole story of the flood in the earth and stuff like that, right?
People
So
said that they dug up and found these aliens in Mexico.
no, but why can't we believe
Illegal
that these
aliens.
same, if there is other beings, they're from Earth, another part where we cannot go. Like when we say the flat Earth, like
Yeah.
the so-called ice wall. How I don't
Yep.
know if
Up
you know
north.
about that.
Yep.
They're in the outskirts,
Yeah.
underwater. Like we always think of space. We can't even go deep. We can't even pierce the ocean.
Go deep down to the beneath of our own water to find.
So how we know they're not coming from there?
Exactly. That's the whole thing that makes me laugh about it, because we could all be having like skeletons from like animal life or whatever type of mammal life that's from underneath that water that we can't even go down to yet, because our bodies are designed not for that type of pressure of the water where we can even still breathe.
Do you notice the pictures of the so-called aliens, the popular ones? They resemble, if you really look on it, as a fish, the eyes. Mm-hmm. These so-called big eyes, black eyes, big head. They could resemble a water creature.
Small
bodies.
Yes, they could resemble a water creature.
Definitely, yeah. They could definitely, in my, from what I can say, because I'm not really like saying that I've studied like, water animals and that very deeply. When I was a youth, I was definitely fascinated about like, the blue whale and, and the size of all that, and saying like, oh my gosh, that could actually live in our waters. You know what I mean? And that thing can go deep down below.
Yeah.
Lower than any of like submarines can actually ever do.
So we're thinking of everything's going up, but we never think of what's really
We haven't
deep.
even dug up what we need to even really dug up in regards to the truth, my brother. That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
But you see, I have another subject. I'm gonna flip it quick,
Right,
but this one's very. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm really tired of the UFO, because to me it just sounds like ultra foolishness.
Yes, we know it's foolishness. It's something big coming. That's all I know. It's for something else.
The ultra foolish ones. That's what UFO stands to me. You know what I mean? Ultra foolish ones. That's what it is, yo.
Well, this subject, I don't know if you know about it, right? It's called I wonder if MAP, minor, right? Oh, I want to get this right. I was just talking with my brethren tonight about it, right? Attractive persons.
Huh?
Minor attractive persons. You ever heard of this?
Minor attractive persons?
No, I never heard of that.
You never heard of it, right?
Terms?
No.
Okay, what?
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with it. Get ready for this one.
You already know I'm gonna say it right now as a Rastaman. What kind of blood?
Get ready for this one.
All right. What is it?
What is it?
Okay, so the LGBT community, right?
Oh boy, the confused people then.
Okay,
God.
but I'm gonna get to this now. These people are separate, but they're not separate. They've been hiding behind that community, right? Minor attractive persons means people who are attractive, who are older people who are attracted to minors. Minor,
okay, them
right? And they're using the same logic. They're using
for pedophile.
So check this. They're using the same, if you call it logic, as other people who say that they identify as something.
They identify with being confused.
We know that,
what
but
they identify.
No,
but it's still
know
disgusting that they're now going to try to use the letters and the acronym MAP.
Yes.
To define themselves.
This is what I'm getting to. We know all of this stuff, how we bun all of this.
Of course, I'm gonna bun all of that blood.
But this is where I'm getting to. These people been around for a long time, but they're hiding, right? They're using the LGBT community to hide behind them, or trying to.
Of course, they've been hiding behind the LGBT community in regards to like a lot of things. That's why a lot of the mask mandate was even like being around out here. They want pure confusion to a lot.
And they're dangerous.
They're the most dangerous ones. The one that like to stay behind the damn line.
Yes, you got it.
Behind
and they
the
don't
actual
want
ones
to
that
know
they
what
want to see like getting crucified. It's the ones that are behind it. It's just like what we say in regards to like the chessboard game right now, mind you. What everybody is seeing in the game of war is that they always kill off the pawns the most, correct? And that's what the LGBT community is for these people. The LGBT community, or even anybody that's in some type of like power regime.
Yes, you're right.
They always have some type of pawns out there.
It's like
so
the
that
Pope
they can now continue
Rome.
doing what they want to do.
It's like the Pope. I was talking with my brethren. It's like how the Pope them, right? But they got some type of special license or something that people know about what they've been doing, right? They're the same type of people who fit this description, you're right. People in power in positions. They have the MAP. It's minor, right? What did I say?
Minor
Attractive people.
attraction people.
Yes. So the
Like, it's
minor,
fucking disgusting that these pedophiles are actually trying to like change up
they're trying
their
to, yes.
acronym so that they're not like, you know what it is? What they're trying to do and what it is that they're trying to have it being desensitized.
Yes.
So that
You
it's
got it.
now going to be like a normal thing to be going on with it.
Mm-hmm.
So now with this new acronym, instead of being like labeled now with the old and actual truth acronym,
Yeah.
they're now coming with this so that it's now being more accepted
Yes. You got
in
it.
the future generations of society now. So
Exactly.
it's completely then desensitized.
I see.
This is the psychological game that these people are all trying to play right now.
They want to come out more public. They would
They
say
want
this
to be
is
more public.
public.
It's the same thing in regards to like the LGBT community. When we were all like growing up with the reggae music and it's being spun out in regards to this because yes, it's written in the Bible with those type of actions, you'll be condemned for it. But now it's like they want you to be desensitized to a lot of the evilness that the devil wants to be celebrated out here in this world today.
And these are, sorry to say, we're digging it up. These are the evil individuals because they're going after minors and trying to make this like they're trying to make it like, oh, you know how some people say they're born that way, right?
No.
They're trying to make
that's
it.
the psychological like bullshit.
Yes, we know that.
They want
We
to
know
say that
that.
they're born that way.
Yes.
Nobody is ever born with any type of like
You're right.
anything really, period. It's psychological indoctrinations that's been going on to a child from since birth. So a child could literally just stay a child the entire time if there was no education.
Because of this whole thing of people who this identification, this way of identification, right? It's like everything turned against people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now these guys are females. It doesn't matter, men or women who are sick like this could get away with a lot of things.
But this is what I'm trying to say. The people that, like I was saying on like my live video that I did earlier today, where it's like we live in a system of pure like falsehood where it allows now the devil's work to be like completely in the forefront and being like as normal shit. That's what's going on. We're completely away from like what the church actually even stood for. The church doesn't even stand for itself anymore.
Yeah.
These are all the things that we're now like seeing that's actually come out after all of this like pandemic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're now seeing what it is for what it is. There's been a lot of charades going on out here. A lot of ugly lies going on out here. And
it's been unveiled.
A pure fake. And then you're wondering why there's mental illness and why it's on a rise with all this stress and everything, because nobody is being themselves and being truthful in this day and age anymore. It's all about an image.
Yeah. Facts. But see, no one did. You guys didn't know about the MAP.
Nope.
No, I never
Did
heard of it
nobody.
because I'm like, you can't change that up to me and thinking that I'm going to be confused and thinking that, oh, wait, you're still not a pedophile. The fuck out of here with that MAP bullshit.
You see, and the bad thing about it is they're masking themselves in another community. So now it's like you attack people who don't know better will attack that community.
It's the same way how they literally forced the LGBT community into like a lot of communities that weren't accepting that at all. It's like you're forcing somebody to come into my household, and I've set up my household to be worshiping the Most High in the best way that I know possible. But now you're gonna try to come into my household and tell me that no, the way that I'm worshiping the Lord is not the right way. Who are you? Because my communication with the Most High is between me and the Most High. You're not in it. So if I'm gonna now set up my home to being that way, get the fuck out and go set up your own home to celebrate, like go worship the Lord that way. That's
yeah, you
I'm
know what you just
about it.
you know what you just said there? This is the problem now. The censorship, right, which we know in public forums like this, they want to police more than ever. The freedom of speech,
That's
It
gone.
doesn't exist unless you go out there
Unless
in
you are
the
the one exercising your own freedom of speech, it's not out there anymore.
yes.
We're literally on, like, as I try to tell everybody, like, even we're on like a digital platform right now.
Yes.
It's going on YouTube. We don't own it.
Nope.
Yes, you're right.
We never paid for the ownership on this platform. So again, now we're also being now inside someone else's household
Yes, you're right.
and trying to tell
Exactly.
them how to regulate it when we never put in the investment. We never put in the infrastructure. We
It's
never
facts.
put in none of these things, but we're now trying to tell somebody how to run it.
That's why they
No,
have
go
guidelines.
build your own and run it then.
But that's
all
why
I
they
can
have
do is
guidelines on
use
out
your
there.
platform
Mm-hmm.
to try to get my shit across without you knowing now,
Yeah.
and then go build, make sure I have my foundation now built up so I don't need to use yours anymore. That's
Yeah.
the problem that a lot of us don't want to do. We're willing to jump on somebody else's ship and thinking that, yeah, we're saved and all that stuff, but none of us actually were willing to build our own boat.
Yeah. And it's how they make the materials available, because right now the only true way, like I'm gonna say, for like freedom of speech is you going out there, like outside to the public,
Yeah, you have to be out there to the public.
right where the
because
public is.
Everything
You-
is being regulated. You already seen what I went through for speaking.
Yeah.
out.
So they want to stop that. So that shows you there's no, in my opinion, there's no freedom of speech anymore, or ever was.
Freedom
really.
of speech has always been like censored down. Like even from the times when we can even talk about, like, even not to change the subject, but even now, even with police brutality.
Yeah.
If there wasn't videos for that going on. Police back in the day were getting away with murder.
Yes, you're right.
Aya.
Yes, you're right.
Because even if the community was all saying what happened out there, it had to be proven in court. And you're
And that's
going
what-
against the word of an officer who's supposed to be upholding the law, but they're now making sure that they look good in their statements so
Yeah.
that they're not looking guilty.
And that's one reason I think with the camera getting law enforcement, catching them in a lot of those situations now, why they're clamping down on so-called freedom of speech online, because people been recording the police doing brutality, and on top of that, speaking out against it.
But it's also now even affected people like in the workplace. This is why now we have too many people literally now like complying to what goes on in this world, because you can't even have a freedom of speech off on your own social media platform.
Yeah, I
You
know.
could lose your job.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
You could lose like your funding. That's all of these things that are coming out.
yes,
These are the things that people are now literally have complied to, have allowed it now to being a regulation of their lives, and are now afraid. Like we don't really have freedom of speech. because
No, I'm gonna
people are
show you-
afraid to speak.
I'm gonna show you an example, because I'm cautious now with YouTube, right? One of our episodes, right? This is crazy.
Yeah.
We're not talking about murdering nobody. We're not talking about hate. We're talking scientific terms of what was going on the
We're
3
stating
years
the
or
facts
so.
of what we're actually seeing. It's not like that we're being lied to of what we're
Yes.
seeing
So you
and
know what they
hearing.
do to, you know what they done to that now? They send you a warning on these platforms
Yes.
that because it's not proven what you're like. Put it this way: they know what we're saying, but they don't want us to talk. Straight the fuck up.
That's
That's what
literally
it
the
is.
whole entire thing. They don't want what we are saying, the actual truth, because the news is not giving you the truth. The news is an entertainment entity. What a
Indeed.
lot of people have to understand, the news that they're giving you is news that they want for ratings. Ratings. For how many people tuned into the news and was like, oh my gosh, did you see? Did you see what happened on CNN? Did you hear how they were talking about it? The same way how they do with TV shows. That's the same way how news is being brought to people.
Entertainment.
It's an entertainment value. It's not giving you the truth.
Taking real life and twisting it up and putting into their own truth.
Exactly. Think about it now when we even bring it now, like how the truth is even being discovered to people. Like, remember with Spider-Man?
Yeah.
All right, Daily Bugle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
John Jameson.
Oh, I love him.
All right, now think about what John Jameson was always doing to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a hero.
But check this out.
But what
Trying
is
to
the
make him look
news trying to
bad.
put out?
But check this out. Every time he would bring even the proof to him, he'd go, no. We're not printing that. No. We're not printing that. We're
what
gonna
I'm
depict
saying?
him a little differently than
You
that.
need to put the
Yes.
picture out there about this individual much
The
differently.
truth is there.
The
Well, you
truth
just
is
said
there.
it. Check this now. That's why, for example, us, right? The truth, I would say, speakers, as much as we can, right? They will what they would call shadow ban, or they will try to, which is hard to now, make us look crazy, right? And they will promote somebody with the same skin tone like us, right? To go further because they're in line with the guidelines.
So you're saying
Okay,
you're
so
pretty much saying
you're pretty much
saying
like-
Uncle Tom business.
Yes.
Uncle Tom, but no. What he's also now even showing us, we have it here in Canada.
Well,
The
yeah.
leader of the NDP. All right. That's what it is. Right? Listen, they literally have a man now where a lot of the immigrants now came in. They can now identify with somebody that is in politics. But he goes along with the trend. This is a man that plays back and forth, like he's against the liberals, but then he's teaming up with the liberals. You know what I mean? Like, remember, they're all the same one.
So
bird.
you're
Left
pretty
wing,
much
right
saying.
wing, yeah.
So you're pretty much saying it's like double spy.
He's not even doing double spy. He's working for himself. He's not working for his own damn people, because when they get into that position,
Yeah.
the way how the game is being played, and a lot of people are not really understanding that, they have shit on this guy. So if he does try to turn in any way,
Okay.
they can slam him down.
Oh.
Yeah. But see,
Because
so
they're getting
the,
fed. They need
So
to
the-
have a piece of something out of you. Everything that we do in this life, from what the government is doing, they want a piece of something out of you.
Yeah.
And if they can't get that,
Yeah.
it's problems for you, because they're like, no, everybody has to be giving us something for you to actually get something.
Makes sense.
yeah, and that's why they want. They try to keep people in line.
Yeah.
In-
That's why they're
and
all
it's not
doing
just
that.
politics. It's even what we're doing. For example, no, they will if they don't like certain things you say, right? They're gonna make you look crazy. You know what I'm saying?
They
And
will
make
always try to make you look crazy,
Yes.
or like you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have anything. Remember, they've done this to Kanye. They've done this to many other people who have spoken about the truth in music business, in life, in the medical fields. They make every single one of these individuals look as if like they're insane. They do not have the comprehension at all of what they are doing.
and that's what I was referring to with the UFO business. They were making everybody look crazy, and now it's the
Yeah.
truth. So
Now
they will
it's the
decide
truth
what
there.
the truth is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the same thing as like they're the ones that are putting out the ideology of the separation. They're the ones who are putting out the ideology of the division. It's not the people. The people rather like get together and support one another. You know what I mean? But it's the government and all of these like mainstream medias and everything that instill now the ideologies of the separation, of the division, of these classifications, all of these different identification and leading confusion, so that you're distracted from what is actually really happening.
It's facts. It's like when well, a lot of people have been. This is a touchy subject in the black community, like the emotions, especially of young black men, right, which causes black on black crime. Where's that root coming from? And the root, which I know, not just believe, comes from, is single parent homes, and that their experience with, just say, their mother, and seeing their mother in situations which is more very emotional, either with, like, being by themselves, paying bills, or the men treating them bad.
The problem is literally with our society as a whole, and it's not even just like in our culture, but what I've seen like from being around other cultures, there's so much of an emphasis on an IQ. like having your degree, having that stuff, but not enough emphasis on emotional quotient in regards to how do you control your emotions? How are you controlling yourself around other people? How are you like controlling your emotions for your now mental wellness? There's not enough focus on that part of life anymore. So that's why like
Facts.
the quality of life has definitely saturated from what I am seeing from that perspective, because the emotional intelligence now that we need to be having in regards to a lot of this advancements, as what they would say,
Yeah.
we're not dealing with it on a very like mature level emotionally. We're acting like we're smart and we do have intelligence in regards to what is going on and how to manipulate it, how to use it and all
Yeah.
that, but we're not on the emotional intelligence in regards to how making ourselves like wellness with like our body and mind in regards to all of it. And that's where I think like we're lacking on it. That's how I'm seeing it, my brother.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And that needs therapy.
That needs therapy, and it also needs a lot of practice, but they're not trying to have that type of practice in the indoctrination called education anymore. Because they don't want you to have critical thinking. They don't want you to have emotional intelligence of yourself and how to control yourself around others and anyone, and like, you know, like that. And having that type of like, you know, understanding of emotional intelligence of another human being as well. And bless up to my brother Royal
Bless
that
up.
stepped into the
Crown.
building.
Let's go.
All right.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't let me stop the flow.
But it's not really something that's being taught. And like even now, even in the household home, we're not even teaching our own kids like emotional intelligence. We're
Yeah.
trying to tell them to make sure that you have intelligence for the school books.
Yeah.
Make sure you have that degree and everything. But now in regards to having that emotional intelligence about yourself and about others around you, we lack that completely
Yeah.
as a society. Not and more so within even our own community.
And that's one of the main problems in the community, because that's one reason I feel a lot of black men don't respect other men, or I mean, or if it's a boys to a man, right? Because what they see their mother going through, like if the mother is struggling and complaining about maybe the baby father, even if the baby father is good, you know what I mean? That negativity, what the boy or even the female seeing, is what they're gonna a lot of times judge
But
others.
this is the whole thing now. Like, this is now where I'm going to get into like the ideology that's now being percepted into our communities. Because remember now, a lot of us all came from like communities that weren't really, we can say, materialistically wealthy at any point in time. We've all come up where it's like it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the quality of life and the understanding of life was definitely a lot more better than what it is, because the parents were definitely a bit more around, like the mother was around more 24/7 in regards to like the emotional structure, intelligence in regards to that. Now when you taking the mother now out of the household and she's now working, she's now only having 4 to 5 hours out of the day in regards to like that emotional intelligence connection that the child can learn from in regards to that. So now that's also now being lacking. And that's why now when we grow up, we have a lot of people that are having emotional like problems with themselves. And that's where now they call it mental illness. Because emotionally they don't know how to handle a lot of the things that are going on. They never got that teaching.
Yep, facts.
And then now also too, now with single parent mothers, how much time can you like now divide up in regards to giving that emotional intelligence to your children when you're now dividing up that time to so many children and you're working? So that's why a lot of like the male brothers that are coming out from a lot of this stuff, they are literally like, and I can say it, I know I was going through it at times, the emotional trauma of like those things of like that nurturing that you want from your mother or from your father, that what hurts you. That was definitely a hurtful situation.
Carry it into adulthood.
You're carrying it into adulthood.
Yeah, that's facts.
And then those are the things now that are motivating you now, where it's like you don't want that now for your children. You don't want to see that in regards to like the woman that, well, if you really do love her, the mother of your children. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it's just something like that. And until we get back to that type of like, I would say where the emotional intelligence and the teachings are being brought back again, we're not really going to be having that. We're still going to have a lot of people with like mental illness and emotional like disorders, all of this stuff that's going on right now.
I mean, I think most of our problems and issues stem from childhood trauma. Most
of it,
most of our problems, like, you know what I mean?
And we live with it and we carry it with us where it's like, all right, this is what I went through, and you know, I was disappointed from my parents from this situation or that situation, or it's traumatic to me like this, and I'm not going to make sure I'm going through that shit again. I'm not going to make sure my kids them are not going through that again, because that's what we all do. We carry that stuff, and it shows out in the raising of our kids.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yo, I'm gonna switch it up. Wait, I don't know if you guys heard about this, like the repatriation promotion in Africa. How a lot of African countries are welcoming African Americans to come live there. They don't have to pay for all types of stuff. Like, you know, what do you think about that?
First of all, I already hate the labeling of like African American, because you don't hear that shit about with Europeans anywhere at all.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just slap that shit right there out of the way. If they're African and they want to go back home and that's their heritage, let them go back home. And it's glad that, you know, the continent has welcomed them back to actually do that, because,
I think it's dope. My only issue is if, like, for me personally, I'm gonna need an army before I go back over there. I mean, you laugh, but when you really think about it, my nigga.
Listen, man, when I go back,
you're gonna need an army to go back.
You're gonna make sure, because you're gonna have to defend yourselves. Because remember now, we are that population where we said, like, it's consumerism. We make a lot of these things that people now like enjoying about lives and all that, celebrations and all that. They've now adopted it from us.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of politicians, African politicians, are corrupt. So to think that you're just gonna go back and it's gonna be all fine and dandy.
All fine and dandy.
I need my own army if I'm going back to Africa to live.
Well, it's the politicians
no disrespect
welcoming
to anybody. I'm just keeping it real.
It's the politicians welcoming the president.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna need an army. If I'm gonna take them up on that offer,
and why
I gotta have an army
all
down
of a sudden
there.
now just welcoming back now? Why wasn't this done like many years ago? Would be my question.
Because I guess they're in more control of their dollar or their money,
and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's globalization.
It's already been like done with the globalization. You know what I mean? Even though we can go back to like Africa, who is really running our currency? If we go back,
it's probably
Africa?
Europe.
Exactly.
So it's a way to get Americans, some of the Americans.
What they want is to like take the currencies of the powerhouses and have it being like circulated in their currency. This is what a lot of people don't really understand with economics. Economics is all about which dollar is really the most powerful in regards to spending worldwide. All right? So you're looking at the US dollar, which earned itself out through North America. You're looking at the pound. You're looking at the yen. And you're looking at also nations and countries that did not submit into what the Rockefellers and all the rest of these banks, individuals, and they built up their dollar to being that way. Right? So the only way now to actually now get your dollar value up to the par where it's like you can now trade at the same way is to have their currencies now being converted into yours, but it's being used a lot now in your country. The problem is that a lot of these countries, like in Jamaica, where they're now like always wanting to have U.S. dollars, is that it's going right back to U.S. banks.
True.
Yeah, you're right. They
saying?
always want U.S. dollars. You're right.
Everyone always wants U.S. dollars, so it's going back to U.S. banks.
Yeah.
Now, if you're now having a country where you can stand up against these type of like tyranny of these guys, destroying your economics, destroying your culture, and still have your dollar going. What you want now is their currency now coming into your country and converting into your dollars. So that means now when your dollars now start going out there, it's now near equal par.
But it never goes that way.
They don't want it to go that way. This is why they set up wars and all that stuff to knock out now your natural resources.
Monopoly. Yeah.
The monopoly of the game. That's what it is.
It makes sense because when they say China owns all this stuff in America, what ends up happening, they take their money, they put it into America. But if you look on it, America sends money to China to make products. So it's all
circling back into China in regards to like how they would like to see their currency now be up to par or pass.
I mean, any one of us can right now look at something on it.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure. Like,
you're right.
This shit's crazy, bro. Like, he's talking some real shit, man. Economics, bro.
It's circulating right now. But America's still smart enough to still have some influence over these markets.
Well, America, that's all they have left.
That's what America only has, is a strong influence. And they realize that if they market their influence very well.
And that's dying off now.
And that's now completely dying because they now see like, okay, you really don't have the resources or the dollars really now to compete.
It's just culture. America sells culture. They don't have nothing else to sell.
So what America
anymore.
does now is now they try to tell you, well, now we need to invade this country because they need to get more resources.
So you know how they're invading now, right? You're saying America sells culture. They're doing it through social media, and that's why China has their own version of TikTok and banned certain things from like they're very strict.
They want you to now follow their type of culture, their type of now living. If it's not the American way, then it's not the right way. This is how now they come in and infiltrate into your country. That they're now saying no, it has to be like this type of lifestyle. The same way as now when we now look at our Jamaica again. You're now seeing pure Burger King, McDonald's, and everything, pure American companies down highways and tourist areas. Yeah. You're not seeing like,
I think there's a McDonald's everywhere in the world or something like that.
Right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they now, that's how they do it with like marking their territory.
Right. And same thing with like
influence now worldwide.
And they're doing it through social media influence because, for example, now, just say Uganda or some of these African countries, they're against a certain lifestyle. So now, if you're not going by that lifestyle now, they're gonna put you on. They're gonna put. They're gonna put you on the radar as you're not doing human rights. You're against human rights.
Exactly. Everything that they now present is in regards to about human rights and all this stuff when they don't even have their own human rights shit settled on in their own backyard. But yet you want to go into somebody else's yard and telling them that their human rights.
Why they never try this shit with Dubai though?
Oh, they did try. That's why the Taliban are like bun them out and they can never like beat up the Taliban because when you are strong about what your beliefs are, as they say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
When they go to Dubai, they can't do certain shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because when you're strong in your beliefs, no weapon of somebody else's beliefs shall prosper against yours because you are that strong with your beliefs.
Facts.
That's the game.
I don't like.
So when you now look over here now in North America, in just my perspective, a lot of people's beliefs are weak.
Oh, they don't even have.
Because they're converted.
They don't stand on nothing. You know
they don't stand on anything.
You know how much times I done seen like for instance, it's like I seen a post the other day with one of these NBA niggas with nail polish on and shit, right? And then it's a certain I want to say like a vlogger that posted it and saying like, yo, what the fuck is up with this? And I read the comments and I'm seeing fucking grown ass men talking about, oh, I don't see no problem with that. I just mind my own business. I don't care if the next man wants to run out polish. Like, where the fuck, like, where do these niggas come from? Like, what do you stand for, my G? What do you stand for? It's just an easy cop out. Like, oh, I don't judge nobody else. Like, what do you stand for?
It's true. About that the other day, he was talking about how these rappers were wearing like fingernail polish. Sean was bringing that up the other day.
Next, you know, I'm telling you, niggas. Next summer, toes out with nail polish. I'm telling you, niggas gonna be doing that. They let Drake do it, and nobody can't say nothing when Drake does it, right? You're a hater. You're
And the
this.
stuff
You're that.
yeah, if we say anything like
right?
what you're saying,
I'm telling
you're a
you,
hater.
next summer,
I don't
Toes
business call me a
is gonna
hater
be
then.
out. Toes is gonna be out with nail polish on it, men, and men are gonna defend it and say it's okay.
Yes.
Because I don't care what the next
call
man is
them men
doing.
that are defending that?
I'm secure in my masculinity,
check this,
so I
check
don't
this.
care what the
You
next
guys are
man
really
is
gonna
doing.
call them men saying that are gonna be defending that, like dudes that
There's
are
people
wearing
defending
nail
things
polish
like
and
this.
Bro,
their
the
toes
fact
out
that
next summer
niggas is
with nail
doing it
polish?
on their
Are you
hands
guys
is bad
crazy?
enough. And niggas
I'm gonna
is
give you guys an
co-signing
example.
it, bro.
I'm gonna give you
I'm
guys
just
an
gonna put them
example.
in the
The
classification
biggest,
of the confused
arguably,
people.
arguably the biggest artist in the world had his fingernails painted the other day,
Yeah, and it's okay.
and nobody said shit.
You know what?
Who was
I
that?
seen it again.
Drake.
Listen,
More than one
besides-
occasion.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Drake?
More than one. You see the
So
fact
this
that
is
you
how
don't
I
even
know
know
I
about
keep
it.
myself out of this,
No,
like,
but the
new
fact that
genre
you don't
of, like,
even know
rappers
about
now.
it shows the point that I'm making. It's too much niggas that don't stand for nothing anymore.
You're right. You're right.
The reason why you don't know about it is because it's a bunch of niggas out there saying, "Oh, I don't care what the next man does." Of course I care what the next man does. What the fuck you talking
Okay.
about? If
Oh,
a
let me
next
give you
man
an
is out
example.
here hitting women, am I not supposed to care?
Yes.
True.
Let
You
me
get
give
what I'm
you
saying?
guys.
Man, yeah.
I want to
The
give you
fuck?
guys an example now. Right?
Shit only applies when they want it to apply.
If you see
Nah.
everybody
I
has
agree.
opinion, everybody has opinion, right? Everybody has
Yeah.
opinion. If you
Everyone
see
always gonna
something,
have an opinion.
what's not norm, what's wrong with question like putting your opinion on like
That's the thing.
yo,
You're asking
that-
the wrong question. Because we all know nothing's wrong with that. You should be asking them niggas what's wrong with them.
Them.
that's
What's
what
wrong
I've
with
been
you
saying.
guys? Why
Okay.
you don't stand for nothing?
Is my
Why you
brother
always
there?
want to cop out and not hurt nobody's feelings? I don't care whose feelings I hurt. That wasn't my
Okay.
intention.
Okay,
As
for
long as I
example
didn't
now.
intend to come out here and hurt nobody's feelings, if somebody's feeling gets hurt, that's okay.
You're right. Exactly.
It wasn't intentional.
Okay,
The
I'm
fuck?
gonna bring this up. An artist I
Okay.
seen, right?
Yeah.
A female artist or non-binary artist out promoting her shit recently, and she has a dog
I don't even
chain.
use them terminology there, no bad man. Me not use them terminology.
Wait, hold on.
Because gender is binary, bro.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put it this way. He had a dog chain around the neck and a dog type of thing around the arm, right?
Okay.
So I'm saying, yo,
Who is this individual?
it's a great artist, but
They
I'm
have a
not
name?
feeling the look. Yeah, it has a name.
So talk the things, then, man.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Okay,
Wait,
I don't know if you know that it's not it's a Canadian artist.
Do you want to say their name or not? Like I'll say it.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
You
Okay,
said
you don't
what,
know.
the chain, the arm, what?
The Havaya Almighty.
Okay, but what
I don't know who that
what
is.
she chain?
Okay, so
What
you don't know.
Okay,
She have the dog chain around her neck. She have
Yeah,
the chain
go on.
around
I
her
don't know.
arm,
Go on. What?
right? And I say, yo, good,
she have the
good
dog
artist,
too?
but I'm not feeling the look.
Wait there. She have the dog too?
Yeah, but the look
No,
don't
she don't
matter.
have no dog.
An artist is always gonna have a
alright,
look.
Then we just wanted to know if there was
I
She
thought
have
you
no
were going
dog.
into something else because you said something about binary or some shit.
So no, what I
So
basically,
she's-
what
so
I
she's
mentioned
making
is that
herself,
Hold on.
You listening?
Hold on. Is it them something that I like,
So
you know?
she'll make her
Come on,
look
talk
like a
about
pet.
she. Does
Okay.
this individual identify as she?
So they
No.
make them look like them.
No. So why would I call the she if the she not identify as a she?
So where I'm
Listen
getting to,
here,
let
if
me
he
get
born
to
a
the
female, he born
No,
a
we're not
female.
doing that. We're not
let me
doing
get
that.
to the
No,
let
I'm
me
in
get to
business.
this.
We're not doing
Let me
that.
get to
Yo,
it, man.
me
She
saying-
is a confused female.
First of all,
Yes.
y'all need to
Anyway,
let me understand who this is.
Who wanna
It's
know
an
this?
artist from Ontario, a hip hop
but wait,
female artist, but
Oh, it's
she,
a rapper.
Hold
Yes.
up a second here. Who wanna-
Okay.
wait,
So
but Rock, let me
you-
finish what I'm
Yeah.
saying, man.
But you wanna say, but in regard to you, I said she put the chain on her neck.
Oh, no,
and
they
on
keep
her
saying
arm.
she.
So
This is what I don't get.
Yeah, because yo, listen here. Anyway,
Let me finish what I'm
chain
saying.
Up, chain up himself, right?
Yes,
So them own pet.
yes.
Why you
So what
niggas
I
care,
put
though?
out there is say I'm not feeling the look.
Why do you
right?
care though? Who cares?
And then
I don't feel nail polish, but I don't
Then-
care.
But
So they gonna
because I
choke
said that,
So they gotta
right?
choke themselves.
Because I said that, so much people just said the same thing. What you're saying, what you were saying, how people
Oh,
react.
I don't
Well,
care
who
what
ca-
nobody does with it. But hear what me I said. Hear what me I said. This is why I wanted to get clarification, right? Because when we're talking about men and what men are supposed to do, I can't talk in that area there.
Yeah.
But I can't tell women what to do and how women are supposed to move. I can have an
Exactly,
idea
I
of what
can't
I
do that.
think, but I ain't telling them what to do,
I
and
can't
especially
do that,
dress.
and I'm not
I ain't
gonna
gonna
tell
tell no woman how to
No,
dress.
they just wanna know this.
Right?
It's a
You know what I'm
choke,
saying?
it's a choker, then a choke.
That's why I wanted you guys to give me clarity. Is
Yes.
this a gentleman we're talking?
No.
No.
But it's a woman that identifies as a gentleman.
No,
Ye-
as themselves.
yes, I
See,
guess.
this is where I get confused.
That's what I'm
'cause
trying to
like,
tell you. Confused
so
people
what
are
we
now
are saying-
trying to
No,
confuse
no,
your
this is
breed.
my thing though. This is my thing though, because if someone's on that whatever, what they wear is the least of the problem. Like you get what I'm saying? They don't even see themselves as a certain way. So it's
So
like
the gimmick is that them choking themselves.
my thing is I don't care about all that shit what people want to. My thing is, what do you stand for? That's what my
Yeah,
thing from the
that's what
start
I'm
of this
saying.
conversation was.
That's what me I get.
Yeah.
What do you stand for?
But that's what I'm getting.
Not the artist, you know. That's what I'm saying. Drake wore nail polish, and I'm telling his fans, oh, you fucking nigga wore nail polish. If I do it around these same individuals, man, I get bun out. But a celebrity can do it.
Like, man, I do our next
No,
show
hold
with
on.
a man wearing
No,
nail
hold
polish
on.
from
Hold
me.
on.
I am.
But
man,
my
tell you
my
that
thing is,
straight.
a celebrity could do it. It's okay. So I'm
Yeah.
saying, what do you stand for? What do niggas stand for in the comments talking about?
Yeah.
I don't care what the next man does. What do you stand for?
Stand for?
Because you're commenting that, but I know your brethren can't come around you with no fucking nail polish
That's what I'm
on.
getting to, Royals.
This is what I'm
saying.
sick of.
Listen,
the hypocritical
the
bullshit.
hypocrisy.
I don't
Yo,
worship
guys.
no celebrity, bro.
Yo,
I won't.
None of
this is what
them.
I'm saying.
None of them, no.
Royals.
They gotta use the washroom and they bleed just like me, nigga.
Yeah.
You see what you guys are saying? If we say this, the things what we're saying is unpopular out there, and the people, like maybe even 5 to 10 years ago, they're gonna say times has changed.
Times
That-
have changed.
Like they're looking
Time-
on like we're
okay,
strange.
times have
These are
changed.
the same people who
But
not do
Sean,
it.
but it comes back to what I was saying before Royals came in. Times have changed now where we're now like accepting more of the devilish work, and it's being desensitized and being now normalized. This is why now Royals is saying like there's a problem because these niggas are all out here now saying like, yo, I don't have no problem with a man, what he's doing and all that. It's none of my business and all
No.
that. And it's like, no.
Listen,
But
man.
go on.
Sorry to cut you. These motherfuckers, right? They only, and I'm gonna say this: it's this leftist, liberal bullshit that's
Yeah.
going on. Bro. When shit applies, it only applies when it works in their favor. Because if men are going out here boxing down Oman any kind of way, we're gonna say, hold up, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Men shouldn't be doing that,
Yes.
right? But at the same time, dress like a bitch, wear nail polish,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
What part of the man?
I
did
know
we
I went
lose,
to
like,
extremes. I went to extremes. 'Cause people will say, "Oh, that's two different extremes: violence versus." But it's the same
It's
context.
the same context in regards to the masculinity, and I agree.
What I'm saying, yes. What we're saying is, we have gender roles. We know that gender is binary. Ain't nobody like you can live in your delusion. I don't have to join in your game. When we were children and
Exactly
we
what
were
you're
playing
saying.
house at the family get together or whatever at your friend's house, the parents didn't join in to play house.
But it seems that
The parents were really
everybody
living life,
Thinks
and
we
we
should
were
join in.
we were imitating life in the game house. But the parents were really living house. They didn't come join in with the kids and play house. They had
But they
real
want
girls
us to
playing real shit. But these motherfuckers is playing life, right? And they want people that's really living life to join into their game. I
Yes.
don't have to join.
Yes.
You can do your delusion over there. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, the people, you can't be on the fence. You can't be like, yo, I'm a man, but I don't care what other men do. I'm secure in my masculinity. And then, like, shut the fuck up. And I'm talking about comments that I read. I'm in my feelings off of reading these comments, nigga. Because it's like, yo, we live in an age where everybody's opinion counts, but nobody's opinion really counts, bro.
No.
No, it doesn't.
You got niggas out here fucking doing shit, doing podcasts and shit, and speaking their opinion. They got guests and shit, and these motherfuckers can't read. Never read a book in their life and shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. There has to be some type of standard for this shit. For everybody to just be speaking out their fucking neck, bro. Like, the fuck? Like, really? But nah,
It's
really,
true.
bro. I'm starting to
That's
see
the
the
problem,
difference
yeah,
of society where there's no men in the homes no more, bro. That's why people like Andrew Tate blow up. Because, like, for us, grew up with our father, Andrew Tate is not nothing special. Yes, he's something good, But it's not nothing special. Because
And
everything
like
he's
fresh
saying
and
I got
fit,
from my
too.
pops already, or my older bro, or somebody, some male in the, you know what I'm saying?
Some type of strong male influence at
Yes,
least.
but because there's so much of a lack of that nowadays, it's like these guys become big. Like, it's like, what?
Yeah, like fresh and fit.
Like,
There's
people
this
I
freaking
can't
out
say-
about what he's saying. I'm like, yo, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't really say in regards to like. I can say that the masculinity and the teachings these days is definitely softened up. But in regards to like, I know a lot of the brothers that we grew up where we just only had the mother really around.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are actually fathers in their kids' lives, even if the situation is not worked out.
That's
So
what matters.
and that's what matters. So I can't really say that like some of our young boys now. Yes, we are still seeing some of them, but the numbers I'm thinking are definitely changing because I know amongst like my brothers, I'm holding them accountable as they're holding me accountable of being a righteous father. You know, in their lives to understanding these things. So, yeah, I don't really want to continue saying that. Well, they're not really getting the teachings. It's unfortunate for the ones that are still going through that cycle right now. I can say yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We spoke about this already, you know. It's for me, it's more of the thing where it's like, it's more of the trying to make masculinity toxic. That's what I have an issue with. Like, why as a man do you have an issue with me saying another man shouldn't be wearing nail polish?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you come into that argument and be like, oh, I don't care. You should be agreeing with me. How the
Right.
fuck is being what we're supposed to be
I
wrong?
was just talking about this
Him,
earlier.
a man wearing nail polish, that's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll just say it's toxic.
It's
There's no
toxic
masculinity
because
in
that's
there.
not
But
masculinity.
that's
Exactly. We can't put
what
the two
they're
together.
labeling as toxic. If you're gonna label something toxic masculinity,
Label
it's
them
a
all.
man wearing nail polish.
Yes, but like getting
You
back
get
to
what I'm
what you were
saying?
saying,
Yeah.
don't put it in the favor where it works out for you. Label them all then that it's like toxic then.
Same
Yeah.
thing
Don't
with the
just say, like,
females
it's one
too.
thing and like yeah. And
Same
it's the
thing with
same
the
thing with
females,
females, yeah.
You can't make
Because-
tradition toxic, man.
Because getting
Yep.
down to that where you're now saying about the females, I want to bring up this subject. It's funny how like you date a lady and they're like, well, do you have a baby mama?
Yeah.
And they know that there are toxic female baby mothers. But yet still, they're not like talking about it publicly that there are these toxic baby females that are baby mothers out there. They're leaving it only to us men saying that they're out there. But they're quick to say that
If
there's
I can
waste
be
mans
real,
though.
I'm gonna have to be real. It's not if I can be real. I have to be real. This is down to earth, right? I'm gonna be real right now, right? From what I've seen through my eyes, my experience, my life, and this society, modern day, women do not care to deal with accountability. Most of them, they do not care to deal with accountability or to accept it. Okay, they will switch the subject. Right? They will
That's the
switch
big
the
one.
subject.
That's the big
They
one.
will hit you with a BUT. They will hit you with that. They will agree, and then they'll butt you to death. Right?
They'll bring up something
Yeah,
else.
change the subject. Or they will completely overlook the wrongdoings and the accountability. And I'm not saying it's all of their fault. Some of them are for them blood clot fault. They're stuck in their ways. But not all of them. I'm going to say society made it that way. So I ain't out here trying to force nobody to accept accountability. What I'm going to continue doing, like I did with that brick lady recently, was speak my mind out in the open, right? And hold fast to it. And then when the truth comes out, I'm going to be as petty as I am and drill it
Yeah.
repeatedly. Told you so. That's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm not out here trying to get nobody to take accountability. No, it's not going to work, especially with women. And real women will agree with me.
It's true.
I got sisters. I know what's
So
up.
true, yeah. It's so
You know what I'm saying?
true.
We ain't out here trying to do that. We're just
They
going to
don't
hold
wanna
fast
feel
to
the
what we say.
guiltiness at all.
And then in the future, when the truth comes out, just like the brick girl. Because when the brick girl, can we talk about that?
Yeah, you talk about the brick girl.
Y'all know about
Bring
that?
that one
Yo,
up.
hold
Yeah,
on,
she
hold on,
lied
hold on.
about it.
We need to do a part 2 to this, you know what I'm saying?
All right, we're going to follow it
Straight
again. We're going
up.
to follow it
You
again.
know what I mean?
We should all have like the
Straight up,
video popped
because,
up while people can
you know
see
what
it
I
too.
mean? But you don't know, this is the first segment of Friday night edition.
All right.
To
No,
brothers.
We'll be right
You know what
forward.
I mean?
be right
Media
back.
news, you
Much
don't
respect,
know.
man.
Right
We
back.
will be back. Stay tuned.
Down to earth, Sean
Tell
Myrie,
you, fam, when that shit
D2E.
pop